When Aston Martin decided to create its GT4 Vantage-based racing car, it was a harbinger of things to come, and so it was. Meet the new Aston Martin V8 Vantage S, and S is the key. I'm Michelle Rahal with the Drive Channel and thedrivechannel.com. Last episode we looked at BMW's newest 6 Series. This episode, Aston Martin rides again. You might ask why we talk about Aston Martin so much. Well, to answer it simply, I love the damn things, and that's that. Not to mention that this version's different. It's not so soft, not so normal. This one hauls ass in style, and I like that. This latest from the famous British marque was introduced a short time back, but wasn't really ready for the general public to soak in. Well, now it is, and we get to see what they've done to call it an S version. None are earth-shattering by themselves, but when you add it all up, the small changes you get a genuinely tuned package, maybe with a few gripes. If you look at the chassis, it's the same as the regular Vantage V8. It was already stiff enough to handle the extra components of the S version. The shocks, the springs, and other components attached to the chassis are beefed up, but they aren't adjustable, and really why complicate the setup. If you want adjustability, buy a Porsche GT2 RS and have at it. This isn't a dedicated gentleman track car. The engine's a 4.7 normally aspirated V8, and it produces 430 horsepower. Not a rocket launcher, but I challenge anybody except a dedicated racing driver to be able to get all of the goodie out of it. I habitually want more horsepower, but the reality is that you just don't need it. It's kind of like Oliver said, "Please, sir, I want some more." The odd part here is that Aston chose to go with a manual automatic transmission, i.e. the paddle shifters, but with a single clutch system instead of double clutch. The shifts aren't as quick as most people would want, but my thought is that they'll change it. Unfortunately, it won't be cheap because they built this transmission just for this car. So at least some factory modification in the future should be considered. The steering rack's been tightened for quicker response along with a stability control feature to keep you out of trouble. But once again, if you disable it, you're going from hero to zero in no time flat. The car can be unforgiving, as stiff as it is, and as much grip as these special wheels and tires might give you, they'll break free in a heartbeat when they reach the limit. The fall-off's quick. The brakes aren't made of the carbon ceramic variety, but they're huge. 6-piston calipers mated to 15-inch rotors up front. Now think about that for a second. Most of your street cars have 15-inch wheels in diameter. So the net of this is this car will stop without a great degree of fade. On the outside, the front splitter is designed to channel air underneath the car to exit at the rear with the help of a diffuser. It works, but carbon fiber ain't cheap, so watch those curbs. The styling is pure Aston Martin, and it is undeniably beautiful. But with the Aston lineup these days, it's becoming harder to differentiate the models. This one has just enough extra, you might be able to tell, but looking at the rear badge is probably best. For the Drive Channel and thedrivechannel.com, I'm Michelle Rahal. Next up, we recap the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance and look ahead to the Shanghai Auto Show.